I'm so close to the end of this sweetgrass. Sad, I'll have to order some more. Or nice, because I'll get a new stock of it. Sweetgrass is a great option since sage is pretty like low reserve wise now, and you know, if you're not indigenous to it, maybe let those people use it. I think sweetgrass smells even better than sage. I'm really not a huge sage fan, to be honest, maybe intuitively, because I kind of know it's like not for me to take. So I love this because it smells like cinnamon toast. Anyway, we'll get into the reading. Hey, it's Maren, and this is the tarot and astrology forecast for the week of November 10th through the 16th. So we'll get started first with a tarot spread using just the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and a Celtic cross to see what the situation collectively is. And then we'll move into the astrology day by day and round things out with a new deck, actually, the Law of Attraction cards I got when I went to an Abraham Hicks conference a few weeks ago. So we'll do a spread maybe for like the guidance that, for the guidance that we need to hear regarding the situation. So we will get started with the Celtic Cross Tarot spread here. I'll do a little shuffle and we'll see what comes up. I'm wearing my my Devil Tarot shirt today, incidentally, so we'll see if the Devil card, which rules Capricorn, actually comes up. Because as a Capricorn rising, I feel very resonant with this top. And I've heard that you're not supposed to shuffle that way, but fuck it, I will. So the first card we have in this Celtic cross indicating the overall situation is the Three of Pentacles. And this is funny that we pulled this because I'm a Capricorn rising and this corresponds to the decan of Capricorn, the second decan. So it's kind of cool that I would pull this while I'm in my Capricorn shirt. But this card, which represents the situation, is indicating to us that we are in the process of building a cathedral, as it depicts. We're in a long-term process of really building up our structure. We're in the thick of building brick by brick, slow and steady, mindfully and carefully. And this isn't a time to celebrate, but it is a time that we are really managing the project at hand, and we're in control of constructing this fortress. The complement or cross to this is the Six of Swords upright, which is a card of harmonious taking in of what our ideas have come to. This is indicating that something with our ideas is really coming to fruition, and we are, in a sense, taking it slow and steady and appreciating every step of our ideas and thoughts, manifesting decisively into actual, like, consolidated action. The potential for the situation is the third card, and we have the Ace of Swords upright. I think we have several, actually just two swords cards here, but with this being the potential for the situation, there is like pure idea coming into being here. This is a big week for seeing our ideas manifested, like straight from thought into form. The fourth card is the unconscious reason for the reading, and we have the Queen of Pentacles inverted, which can indicate that we feel like we have nothing to give, or like we aren't in a position where we can provide for someone else because we feel kind of empty ourselves. So I think we're looking for reassurance because we feel kind of drained and like nothing is coming into being, even though things are obviously coming into being. So we're here to find reassurance. The fifth card is the recent past, and we have the Star inverted. So with the Star inverted, we feel like the outside world isn't being nurturing or helpful to us. Like we feel kind of like we're not being supported by those around us, that we feel very alone, and I think that ties into why we're here. We feel kind of like unsupported, even though things are working out, our subjective point of view isn't indicating that. The sixth card represents the future, and we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So with this card inverted, it deals with making sure that our process actually makes sense. Like, take a step back to make sure that because the potential for the future is that the process that we're undergoing will be inefficient and lead to more loss than gain. So this is indicating that we need to take a step back and make sure that all parts are connected so that we can depend on those around us and work smarter, not just harder. So the seventh card indicates us in the situation in this reading, and with Justice inverted, we need to not worry about balance, not worry about being received super well, not worry about giving like equally with someone. We just need to like go out and do the thing and then worry about what'll kind of come about it later. This is not asking for like careful weighing out or weighing the utility of things. This is asking for us to actually go forth and actualize this idea first off. The 8th card is the influence or environment that we're in, and I've just dropped it. We have the Lovers reversed, and the Lovers inverted can deal with a relationship that is very much back and forth and not like a united, harmonious relationship. I feel like in the situation that we're in, things are very much coming into being, but we're surrounded by disconnect that we need to see as not our situation. Like, it's not our fault that other people don't have their shit together. We have to have our shit together, and we'll worry about how they'll deal with that. We need to hold our vibration at such a high point that if other people don't meet it, we're not dealing with trying to bring them back up to that. The 9th card is our hopes and our fears, and we have the 6 of Cups, which is actually a really nice card of a point of being stable and steady in how we're emotionally fulfilled and feeling harmonious with how far we've come. So the hope is that we feel emotionally fulfilled, and the worry might be that we'll stagnate in that feeling, but we have to trust that like we're going at it. Like, we don't need to worry about others' reactions to us being satisfied with how we're doing. The 10th card we have as the outcome is the King of Pentacles reversed. And the King of Pentacles is like a chill king. He's not, you know, tyrannical or overly greedy. He's just, you know, solid and stable. But with the King of Pentacles reversed, like, we're ending up unsatisfied with how far we've come. Like, we're looking at all of our money and we're like, no, that's not enough. So this might not be that bad of a thing. Like, this could be just a feeling of like, okay, I still have more to go. I'm not gonna rest on my laurels. So I don't say this is necessarily a bad thing as much as like, give yourself the credit. Like, you're actualizing your dreams and you don't need to be unsatisfied with not everything in your vortex like coming into being right now. So with that being said, let's look into the astrology for the week and see what the transits are saying day by day. So starting on Sunday the 10th, we have the moon in Aries trining Jupiter, which wakes us up like on an exuberantly, really beautifully optimistic note. This is indicating that the week is starting out on a really high note of making it known what potential we have waiting for us. The moon does ingress into Taurus and make us more like solid and steady with our plans, but it will conjoin Uranus late that night, so expect Sunday night to maybe have some unexpected feelings or revelations of like even just a dream being kind of weird. On Monday the 11th, on 11/11, there's a Mercury-Sun cazimi, and since Mercury is still retrograde, this will probably illuminate some deep information that may have been hidden due to this retrograde, like things really coming to light, and maybe this is us realizing how actualized our dreams are becoming, even if they seem delayed. The moon will sextile Neptune and trine Saturn, which further convinces us of what's real and what isn't, and making it known what the consequences of our actions are becoming. On this 12th, there's a full moon in Taurus. So for the past 6 months, there's been a buildup in one area of our life, and this is the culmination point for something of the fixed earth sign of Taurus in each of our lives. But collectively, the sun will conjoin Mercury retrograde in Scorpio opposite the moon in Taurus to reveal a deep misunderstanding, or where we might have been doubting ourselves, that we can now see that we're in this for the long term. This is not a crisis. This is a long-term trajectory. The ruler of Mars in his exile in Libra further frustrates our efforts at being assertive. So I think that's what's indicated in that tarot reading, is that we don't understand how we can be assertive and still be balanced, and we don't need to worry about that. We just need to speak our mind. I'm spitting. And we just need to speak our mind in the first place. Allow your inner tension to navigate you towards untying those social knots to better understand what's happening. On Wednesday the 13th, the moon enters Gemini as its ruler Mercury sextiles Saturn, which indicates cerebral opportunity for grounded action to move forward in these long-term steps. Serious conversations could arise with that sextile, but the sun sextile to Pluto offers even further depth in like getting serious. Mercury will trine Neptune to poeticize our words by the end of the night. So by the end of this week, things ease up and we begin to have more faith in the movement of what's coming to fruition with our projects. On Thursday the 14th, Venus squares Neptune early on to send us off in a whimsical haze. So Thursday the 14th, we might be self-deluding or just confused early on in the morning. The moon's opposition to Venus and square it to Neptune further confuse or inebriate us with feelings of detachment. So make sure that you're not abandoning yourself in the midst, and instead you're just using this as an opportunity to rethink the situation at large and allowing your confusion to be accepting of your confusion and not forcing yourself to make sense of it right now. On Friday the 15th, the moon enters Cancer and squares Chiron, which dredges up sensitivity towards where we've been previously burned. So this might indicate why we feel kind of like unfair in the relational situation. We feel like things have never really felt solid to us, so we're confused about why we should feel that way now, but we need to understand that our fate does not rest on the past, and we decide how we feel moving into the future to attract what we want. The afternoon's lunar sextile to Uranus awakens us into being more objective with our reactions, so we go into the weekend on a more grounded, rational note. Saturday the 16th, the moon will trine Mercury and Neptune, which harmonizes how we feel with our dreams and how we communicate about them. However, the moon's oppositions to Saturn and Pluto indicate feeling a bit or like a lot beat up by that evening. So make sure that you meet your own needs before expecting anyone else to do that for you. And that definitely sums up the outcome of this week being the King of Pentacles, with being like, yeah, I've come far, but for some reason I'm not content. And just allowing yourself to feel that discontent and analyze that as more space to grow into your own power of accepting anything that comes your way and taking responsibility, but not necessarily guilt for anything and everything. So with that being said, let's use the Law of Attraction cards that I have here, and let's do this like in a 3-card, 3-step process. So if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, I'll do the step like 1, card 1, step 2, card 2, step 3, card 3. If you're not, I'll like walk you through, if I could open this up, what each of the steps like kind of mean. And so we can use this, I'm like creating my own reading style here, but I feel I'm into it. And see what's coming up for us, if this would open. Okay. So with these cards, we'll start out with the first card being what we're asking, the second card being the answer that's given, and the third card being how we allow the manifestation to come about. And these are really beautiful cards, by the way. I got these like in Greenwich, Connecticut when I drove up a few weeks ago, and they were like really overpriced, but they're really good like quality cards, by the way, if you want these Law of Attraction cards. So this is a really resonant bunch of cards here. We start out with asking. The ask card is I am not in competition for well-being. So I feel like we have an air of competition this week, like we need to compete with those around us or that we're peers with, and we need to realize that our well-being does not depend on anyone else's, and our light says nothing about anyone else's. And the answer to that is the Law of Attraction brings whatever abundance I choose. So if we choose to be in a mode of accepting, receptivity, and appreciation for where we're at, it won't at all impede others. In fact, we will feel so uplifted in ourselves that it will likely bring about those around us who feel the same. And the third card for how we can allow this is the universal law of attraction defined. The law of attraction says the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. And while this may seem like a rather simple statement, it defines the most powerful law in the universe, the law that affects all things at all times, for nothing exists that is unaffected by this powerful law. So for the other two cards, I didn't feel called to read the back, but for this one, this makes a lot of sense that we have to attract the feeling of being confident and fulfilled by what's happening instead of waiting for that fulfillment to come to us. We decide that and we can enact our own feeling and therefore manifestation. So with that being said, I hope this was helpful. If you did find it helpful, like, subscribe, do all the things. I offer private astrology consultations below and I'd love to read for you. And I will see you in the next week.